Welcome back! This Advanced Framework Core tutorial covers the teleport feature from teleport settings in the preset PDA to the teleport interaction component. So let's get started. First, a look at the data asset. Preset PDA or VR controls PDA, as we called them later, are collected on the controls component of the VR pawn, connecting button inputs from the real-life controllers to controller functions. Let's have a look. The controls of the Advanced Framework basically have two modes, default mode and teleport mode. In default mode, all controls are normal as defined by the key mapping up here. In teleport mode, this key mapping is overwritten by the teleport controls below here, and the motion controller starts emitting a teleport trace which the player can use to choose the target of the teleport. The player can go from default mode into teleport mode by a button input that must be defined in the key mapping of the default mode by assigning the controller function teleport to a key as I just did. Next, we need to have a look at the teleport section. Here the controls in the teleport mode are defined. The teleport execute setting defines which button input is necessary to actually start the teleportation. Currently, you can choose to execute the teleport either when the trigger button is pressed, or when the thumbstick is in a neutral position, or when the button that was assigned with the teleport controller function is released. This of course means the player has to hold the button as long as he is choosing a teleport location. The teleport deactivate setting governs how the player can change back from teleport mode to default mode. Currently, you can either deactivate the teleport mode only upon teleport execute, or upon neutral thumbstick. The last teleport setting governs if the pawn can also be rotated around its Z axis upon teleport. If you set this to none, the pawn will retain its rotation. In case of by hand, the player can determine the pawn's rotation by rotating the real-life controller around its forward vector. And in case of by thumbstick, the player can use the horizontal axis of the thumbstick for the same purpose. As you might have guessed, some of the possible controls will interfere with each other, so choose your teleport settings carefully. Back on the controls component on the VR pawn, we can see that we have even more settings covering the teleport. Here in the teleport section on the controls component, we can define the mode of deciding which targets are actually suitable for teleportation. Here, teleport free means any flat surface in the level. Nav mesh means that the teleport piggybacks on the navigation mesh to distinguish between suitable teleport targets and non-suitable ones. And teleport component means that the player can only teleport to actors with the teleport component. The search type defines how the teleport trace actually behaves. Projectile means the trace follows a trajectory from the emitting motion controller to the floor, and straight means the trace follows a straight line in the forward direction of the motion controller. In the teleport time setting, you can define how long the teleport takes. And in the teleport motion setting, you can decide if the player sees the full motion of the pawn during the teleport, only an indication, or nothing at all. This is already enough to set up a working teleport. Let me give you an example. Here are the settings, and as you can see, if I move the thumbstick forward, I enter teleport mode, and when I bring the thumbstick back into neutral position, I go back to default mode. The trace in the teleport mode follows a trajectory towards the ground, since I chose the projectile setting, and I can teleport to any flat surface due to the free teleport setting. And when I rotate my hand, you can see this arrow and the teleport target, which shows the new forward direction of the pawn due to the rotation by hand setting. And lastly, when I press the trigger, the pawn is teleported to the target location with the rotation I indicated with my hand, showing the player an indication of the movement. Before I finish, let me introduce you to the teleport component. This unique interaction component can be added to an actor, transforming it into a teleport target. As you can see, the teleport component is directly interacted with by the teleport trace and allows the player to teleport to it. However, the teleport component not only allows you to pinpoint suitable locations to teleport to, it also enables you to bypass teleport mode altogether if you want to. Just add a select component to the actor with a teleport component and set up this code to call the teleport function of the teleport component. And the player can teleport to the actor just by selecting it with a laser. Here, the settings of the teleport component become even more interesting, since bypassing teleport mode means naturally that all teleport settings on the controlled component and the preset are ignored. So you have to set the teleport duration and teleport motion, for example, which works as in the controlled component, here on the teleport component. Under teleport fade, you can also add a fade at the start or the finish or both of the teleport. The teleport level is very important. It corrects the pawn's position vertically upon teleport. Ground level is to be used when the teleport target is on the ground to ensure the pawn is not placed into the ground after teleport. Eye level is to be used when the teleport target is at eye level of the pawn, and the pawn level setting does not adjust the pawn's vertical position at all. Lastly, the rotation type allows you to force a rotation about the set axis on the pawn, so it faces in a direction of your choosing after teleport. Or forbid rotation altogether, meaning the rotation before the teleport is kept. Or leave it up to the player using the input method defined in the preset PDA. Let me just show you one example of using the select interaction for teleportation with these settings. As you can see, the pawn is teleported upon select, and the pawn's camera fades in and out as instructed by this fade setting. That should bring you up to speed regarding the teleport feature and the teleport component. So I'll sign off. See you soon. Bye bye.